Are you in the market for a second scan tool that's budget friendly, that has a pack with a lot of features? Or are you just new to scan tools and just don't know where to begin, but you don't want to buy, say, the cheapest of the cheapest, but you want to buy a budget, make a very conscious budget friendly decision, but gonna get a lot of bang for your buck? Well, let me tell you about the INNOVA 6100P. The company actually sent me this scan tool and wanted me to evaluate it and show it to you guys. And before I do that, I'm gonna tell you two things about this scan tool. First of all, this thing gets my highest recommendation. And if you've been watching my channel, you know it's rare for me to give something my highest recommendation. Second of all, this is now going to be the scan tool that I ride around with in my truck with me. I do have another scan tool in there at this point in time, and it's a little Bluetooth dongle. I may still just leave that in here, but this thing here is it. So let me show you why. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in now. Let me first of all cut my, let me plug it in. Then I'm going to cut the card and give me a little quick second here. Just want to give a little introduction to that. All right, so let's go ahead and hold down the switch here, get the car going. I don't know if it'll link to it just that quick because again, yeah, there we go. All right, so first thing I want to tell you about this scan tool that is very fast reading. As you see, I just plugged it in. Now this is a not a full system scanner, so it mainly is going to target your powertrain, your ABS, and your SRS system, and it does have some enhanced OEM PIDs, perhaps for your car. I know in this car it does not, but it could be available for one of my other cars or even your car. So that's the first thing. So first of all, I'm gonna back up here to show you the keys on it. It has a erase, system status, DT codes, freeze, frames, data, live data, menu, power link. Now what the power link is for is, now we're gonna talk about this here in a minute. This thing actually connects via Bluetooth to your phone via the app they have called RS2. And this thing is, that right there just only makes this thing more incredible. Now, I will say this before I move on. You do not have to use the app to use it. This thing is perfectly functional on its own. You do not have to use the app at all. But if you want to get more out of this scan tool, you will need to use that app, and you'll see why here in a second. So first of all, let's just, erase is obvious. System status. Let's just go into system status real quick. And you can see you got the global OBD2, ABS, SRS, and Buick OEM enhanced. And as you can possibly see, I'm showing you now that I do not have any enhanced data PIDs for this vehicle. But that could change. Who knows? Because maybe if I put an update on this, it may change. But anyway, you could have some DTCs, you know, that are, again, nothing is stored in my computer, so anyway it would take it to be stored. So maybe you have some of those stored in your vehicle, and maybe one day I will in this car, but for now it does not. So anyway, you do have that option to this, and that's pretty cool, because usually only OBD2 data output is going to be on scan tools like this, but this here is much different, as you'll see here in a minute. All right, go back to system status. We don't have to go through these, but anyway, I'll read the global OBD2 again, just to show you how fast it is from scratch. And this is just, I think, the powertrain. So if you hit the button here to start it, it just auto connects, and it just that fast. You get all the data back. And it's very nice that you get to see all your monitors up here blinking. You don't have to look for that. It's very important. You can tell if your car's inspection ready or not. My car's not quite ready for inspection. I just cleared some DTCs out with another scan tool. And this leads me into something else that I have read about this scan tool, but yet to verify. I have heard that if you turn the check engine light off with this particular scan tool here, the INNOVA 6100P, that it does not erase the monitor status. And that's a huge deal. So say if you had an intermittent check engine light, you want to get your car inspected, well, you just cut that check engine light off. It doesn't affect your monitors, and you can drive straight to the inspection station, get an inspection, and be gone and deal with the intermittent issue at a later time. Now, when I have a chance to verify that, I will make a separate video on that. But for now, That may be possible. I'm not saying 100%, but I'll definitely try to verify that and follow up. So as you can see, if you go into system status, this is where you can go to scan either one of the systems you need. Freeze frame and our DTC data, there was none stored. So again, there's going to be none stored. But if you needed to see some freeze frame data, you would just hit this button here to see the freeze frame data. Pretty simple and straightforward. Moving on to the power link, this is how you would, if you wanted to turn on the Bluetooth to connect it to, the app, I believe. But when you first setting up the scan tool, you're gonna be able to connect it to the app anyway, like I did. But we'll talk about the app here in a minute. The menu, man, the menu here where you can go through system test. So let's go ahead into system test. You can do the OBD monitor test, evap test, I guess the IM monitor test, and that's pretty much it. But again, you normally don't see these types of tests on these types of scan tools. So this is a huge deal that you are able to possibly make these tests. And maybe it don't work for every single make and model, but I'm assuming that it probably will work for quite a bit. So again, I'm going to try to test that again. Again, I just want to keep the video as short as I can, but really give you the basic points of the features of the scan tool. But once I get around to actually making a video for show and tell for some of these really detailed features, they will be linked in the description of this video. All right, so with that said, let's go back to main menu here. We go down to vehicle information. If you just want your vehicle information, you just click here, and that will provide you with the available. Let's just hit that. I'm just curious what it says. Available modules. CAN, ECM. Scroll down. TCM. Okay, so it's showing you the TCM. It's saying available modules. I'm not sure. I guess if that means it says module 7 EA. I'm not sure what this here means, but anyway, you can see that if you need this right here, you can somehow use it. DLC low cut is just telling you if you don't know where to find. So again, that's a DIY friendly feature. If you don't know where to find your data link connect at, this thing will try to help you out. Battery and alternator test here. That will be a next video here. Again, I'm going to do several of these videos. Actually, I'm going to combine this with the next feature. The drive cycle procedure. I have never seen this on a scan tool, in any level scan tool. So I'm going to put this to the test, not in this video, but it's going to be another video coming out where I'm going to put this drive cycle procedure to the test. I'm going to try to do it in my GM vehicle and do it in my Honda vehicle to see will it provide me with information for at least two different makes, and that might help you make a decision for this scan tool here. Service reset just depends on what it is. In my case, it's only oil reset, so I'm just going to back out of here. If I go down to service check, it's just going to show you the types of resets you have to check that percentage or whatever it is, for example. So in my case, it's just the oil, for example, and 83% remaining, which is nice. And then firmware version, firmware versions. One thing I want to speak about that. I'm going to ask the manufacturer, but I'm not saying this is the case. This may be the case, and that is because you can connect this scan tool here to an app, you may be able to update it just that easy via Bluetooth. Not entirely sure about that, but I'll check into that. Tool library, just a lot of other things, and actually the QR code for the app. So say if you don't, for some reason, just sitting in your car and you don't want to get out and look for the app, this RS2 app here, you can go here and enter here. And if you scroll down, there is the app's icon. So you'll know you're downloading the right app, and this QR code would send you to the right app to download. And we'll check that out here in a minute. Okay, let's just back out of here. Or you can also turn the beep off. I personally like the beep on this because it's not that annoying, but I'm also leaving it on so people can see that it does have an audible tone. Tool setting, this is just right what it says. This is just a scan tool setting where you can turn stuff on and off, things like that. So for example, I turn the audible tone off just so you can see how that works. I'm gonna turn it off, and it's just that simple. There's no more audible tone, as you can see, and all these other things you can change just like that. So let's back out of here. And that's it for the menu. Now, live data. This is amazing for the scan tool. Let me turn my call on real quick. And I'm gonna show you just another reason why this thing here is gonna be in my truck with me, other than all the features I've already showed you. Now, if you go here to live data, if you just click the live data button right here, it pulls up all the data PIDs that this thing is currently programmed for your make and model. In my case, it is 1 out of 46. So this thing has 46 data PIDs. And you can actually graph these. So again, that's not unheard of on these types of scan tools, but a lot of times scan tools that have like this small LED screen like this, they typically only show you just the numbers, which which that's good enough. But being able to see a graph obviously is a huge deal. So let's just go ahead. I'm gonna show you something else you can do with this thing. So we want to graph it. We hit the enter button. As you can see, we got a little graph going across the screen. But if we go to the next one, if we hit the graph key, it actually says hold the LD button to superimpose these two. So basically, you can pull up multiple graphs. So that's the short-term fuel trim graph there. This is a long-term fuel trim graph here. So let's go ahead and hit this one here. So you can only have two, just so you can see, you can only have two graphs at a time, which is fine. That's reasonable. But if you want to superimpose these right here to put them on the same graph, just take this button right here, the live data button, and you hold it down. Check that out. On the left axis, that's in black, that's a short-term fuel trim. And on the right y-axis, you see the red for the long-term fuel trim. And obviously the x-axis in this case is going to be for time. It's just really not showing time, but it's really time. So this fuel trim over time here. So anyway, this is pretty cool. You can do this, but watch this. It says right here, press LD for live data menu. So we're going to go press the LD button. Now watch this. You can do custom data. You can pick out the data PID you want. So that way, if you was looking at, say, several parameters, you don't have to have them all separated. Say if you want to look at two parameters that are separated by 10 data PIDs, then that way it's harder to scroll up and down. But in this case, if you go to custom and just pick them ones you wanted, you can just have those 2 or 3 so they could be directly on the screen in front of you, which is cool. Record live data. Now this is very, very interesting. Normally on scan tools like this, when the data is happening, it's just happening. You unplug the scan tool, that's it. This case, you can record the scan, you can record data and send it to your phone via the app, and you can look at it at a later time. So this is super helpful, because say if you wanted to look at some live data before you changed the part, or say hooked up your oscilloscope or something or whatever, recorded that data, saved that data, then you wanted to change that part or do something different with your car, then go back and look at the live data, but then you want to have the live data on your phone, comparing it to the live data you see on the screen of the actual scan tool. That's pretty amazing. You really can't do that. I've not seen any type of scan tool like this you can do that with. Only scan tools I've seen you can do that with is big ones, because normally bigger scan tools come with a record screen function. So therefore you can just record the screen and just save it and go back and look at it. So, or you can record live data as well. So anyway, you can do playback data, but the playback data on this, you can play it back on the unit, but it only saves it per that session. It doesn't save it, to my understanding, to a later date, but you can save it to your phone, to the app, and we're gonna take a look at that in a minute. So let's go ahead and record some live data. We go down to record live data. And this is another interesting thing I've never seen. Record data by DTC trigger. Now, I'm not sure how this works just yet. Don't worry. Once I do some testing with that and figure that out, I am going to make a video on it, because this is amazing that a scan tool of this level, of this, I'll say restate it, a scan tool of this price point has crazy features like this. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and record manually. Let's go ahead and record manually. And now once you record, you have the option to record all data PIDs, or you can go through and pick, in my case, whichever ones out of 46 that I want. I'm gonna just go ahead, for the sake of this video, I'm gonna just hit all data PIDs. And I'm ready to record, so I just hit the little enter button right here. And bam, what is it doing? It's recording. It's recording frames. So each frame is a percent. So what I'm assuming is that it'll record up to 100%, and whatever is within that 100% is what it'll be able to save and play back. I don't know when it gets to 100%, will it keep just collecting frames but pushing out the oldest frame? I'm not entirely for sure. But again, for the sake of this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just record just a small number of frames and show you how it works. And again, at a later date, I'm gonna come back with videos more on more details on those features, because again, this scan tool has a lot of features for the price point. It's amazing. It's just simply amazing. As you can see, this is exactly why this thing is going to be carried around with me in my truck. All right, 12 frames, 13 frames, that should be sufficient. Let's go ahead and hit stop recording. And would you like to view the file now? Well, we can hit yes or no. We're just going to hit, well, okay, let's look at it on the screen. So we hit yes. Let's hit, we can do frame by frame. Wow, even look at that. You even get an option to look at it frame by frame or continuous playback. Crazy. Let's do continuous playback. As you can see, everything here is just playing back through those frames. Let's just see if we can graph one. Oh, we can actually graph one here. So you graph one. This is just what you get. So we go back and let's see, main menu. Let's go back here. Let's go to live data. LD for menu. Let's hit playback data. Frame by frame. Let's hit frame by frame. This is frame number 1. So it's telling you, it's giving you slices. See, this is frame 1. And I guess if you hit up and let's see here. How does this work? Press L to graph. I'm assuming you can go frame by frame manually somehow here. We hit this to graph. Okay, playback live data, frame by frame. Let's see, I'm just trying something here. Playback frame by frame. We hit OK. Okay, so I'm not sure how to get it to do frame by frame at this point. It's probably something simple. I just don't know how to do it yet, and that's just really what it is. So I'm going to figure that out here, and I'm trying to see if I do up and down. If I go through, hold on, let me see something. I'm going to just try one last thing. I'm going to just go. Oh, okay, next frame. So if you go to the bottom and hit, oh, here you go. If you're at the top, see, this is the very top data pid, because this is data pid 1 out of 6. So if you just hit up, basically that sends you to the end of the data pids. Now you can pick previous frame or the next frame or exit playback. Very simple. All right. So now let's just go back. One moment, please. So everything is pretty much saved now. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the app now. Now, what I'm going to do is let me turn my phone on here. I'm going to try to get everything here in the screen on my phone. I'm turning on my screen record first. So in case it's for some reason I need to do an overlay, but I'm going to try to get it all here. Let's do record screen. Hold on, let me turn the app on right quick. Give me a second here. There we go. Start screen recording. And the name of the app is Repair Solution 2. So here we go. Here's the app here. So as you can see, as soon as I open the app, because this is already paired with the app, it immediately starts to pair itself. So it's pairing in progress. I'm just touching the screen so it won't die out. I think my unit's got a little time off here. So anyway, scan tool is paired. So it's retrieving my data. All right. So I'm pretty excited to show you this, because again, this is another reason why, because this is going into my arsenal. So for example, if you've done a report for a friend, because normally on a scan tool like this, if you do a report for somebody, you can't get it off the scan tool. But in this case, because it's going to the phone, you have to report. So anyway, this is again, the INNOVA 6100P, and again, as you've already seen and I've already demonstrated, you've seen why this thing gets my highest recommendation, and you're about to see more of why it gets my highest recommendation. So here's a report. So right here, you can hit this button right here up top in the corner right here if you kind of want to share it or something like that. It tells you, it goes down and tells you everything about the system here. that you had. And also, if you go here to go to live data, look at this. These are sessions that I already recorded. As you see, I just recorded this session at 12:49. See what time it is right here, 12:50? If we go up here to 12:49, hit this right here. There's all the data recorded, all of these PIDs. So I'm going to just pick a few out and show you. You know me, I love some oxygen sensors. Oxygen sensor. And let's just pick, I don't know, maybe one more. Let's just do short-term and long-term and bank one. All right. We got 4 data PIDs, so I could do them all, but I'm going to just do these. And then up here it says done. So you just, or you could search through them right here if you wanted to as well. Let's hit done right here. And that's it. It has not started yet because don't forget the call was running when I started taking the data PID. So this is the very first beginning of the frame here. So if you hit right here, hit live replay. Look at that. It just goes just like that. And it's beginning. And you can go right here that says view graph. You hit view graph. Pretty amazing looking at it. And you can even overlay graphs as well. So let's just say overlay the 2 oxygen sensors here. And look at that. Crazy. That a scan tool, well, let me hit play. It's just crazy that a scan tool of this, you know, price point is able to do all of this stuff and show you graphs on your phone, clear, nice graphs you can actually share with somebody, go back and analyze and things like that. You can really do some serious diagnostics with the scan tool because it helps you, because you can look at data on the actual scan tool and data on the phone at the same time and do comparison. That's really how you fix things, is do comparisons. So anyway, that is why I love the 6100P by INNOVA. And this right here is that nice scan tool. And again, there's a link in the description to an Amazon affiliate link if you want to help the channel that way. There will be more videos coming about the scan tool. So you guys stay tuned and take care, and I'll see you in the next one.